I'm really motivated by being happy and being content and being fulfilled in life. So it's a real challenge for me to be able to balance saving for tomorrow and saving to be able to prolong that ability to have that exciting, dynamic lifestyle, and also sometimes tempering the today so that I do actually have those pennies in my pocket for later on. So I do find that hard. I'm really driven by immediate gratification, and I do need someone like in this instance Gary to almost be sort of my moral compass a little, in terms of saying, you know, do you really need to go and spend $1,500 a month on clothes, you know? And once I think that's has been put to me in that obvious sense and that very in your face sense, I've probably flicked a switch in the sense that I've gone, okay, no, I need to be real about this, because otherwise I'm going to be in a holding pattern for a very long time. So I find that a challenge. I've also recently bought a unit. The Commonwealth Bank and I have entered into a very long-term and committed relationship with each other, and it's a challenge for me because I'd like to shorten that relationship. It's also a challenge in the sense that I have a real interest and love of high-end Scandinavian furniture and other interiors. So trying to temper myself so that I don't go and blow the bank on a whole new decor is hard. I'm a really keen photographer, and I find that that's a way for me to channel myself, because typically I tend to be quite exuberant and quite social, so I find that a really nice escape from that, to really lock myself down and channel my thoughts into something. I'm also really obsessed with travel and anything geography related, so I love maps, I love atlases, and I love planning the next trip. I'm HR manager for a company called Asiano, which is in the freight and logistics trade. My role is corporately focused, but I also have my fingers in some pies of some industrial sites as well. So it's nice and diversified in terms of operating with your general white collar staff, but also your more rough and tumble blue collar staff. And that diversity is probably the reason why I like it so much. I really like being able to oscillate between those very different camps of people, and I'd like to think that I can adapt my style and learn something different from those very different groupings of people and everyone along that spectrum. It'd be fantastic to say that it was a really well executed plan, but it probably was something that I probably fell into, but then I've very consciously mounted a career in. So I wanted to study economics, but I wasn't very good at maths. So I very quickly found out that at university there was very limited avenues in terms of pursuing something in business that didn't have any kind of numerical bent, and HR was one of them. I also then just found that as I progressed through my degree and then through the early stages of my career, that it suited me. So I fancy myself as being quite amenable with people. I think I can read people quite well. I'd like to think that I have a good moral compass for fairness, and so that naturally lent itself quite well to a HR profession.